You know how we talk about, like, I want everybody to lead to themselves, think for yourselves, right? Or you're going to get led right off a cliff. And yet we do want others we can rely on, right? We want others that have our best interest at heart so that we can relax at times, right? It's like if you're always vigilant, when the fuck do you get to sleep? And so... oh God, they showed me a very specific scenario where it's like, I desire a strong man because I'm exhausted of having to be vigilant, having to lead myself and having to make sure all the time. And so it'd be nice to be with somebody where it is that idea, you can trust them, you can let your guard down, because there's times where we do want to be led. We want to trust that we're being taken care of, that we're being, right? And so we need to have that with ourselves innately, right? This is the idea of having that relationship so deep within that you're covered without. And yet, just speaking in human, like having another human, this is why, like, for me, it's like I want somebody else who is that deeply connected with themselves, right? And they want what's for their highest and best, which is for the highest and best of all. They're not looking to manipulate or steer somebody any which way other than back to themselves. And, oh, please help me get this out. So, they were showing, I do have that desire to have somebody like that. And it's the idea of calling in your match, right? Like I like to offer that for others, and I want someone else to offer that for me. But somebody who fucking can and understands what I'm saying to a very deep level. And so years ago, I had encountered somebody, and he, of course, heard it the way he wanted to hear it. We were definitely not speaking the same language. And he definitely was leading me right off a cliff, because you're very suggestible and willing when you want to break, when you need a fucking break, right? And this is why it is really important who you trust, who you let in. And so it was the idea of letting him take the lead. And luckily I had enough sense about me that I was like, oh, I'm getting led right off a cliff. I'm getting led right to slaughter. And I'm allowing it. And, you know, this is like when all the lessons come in, like, hello, are you going to wake up and see what the fuck is happening or what? And, man, it's like you wake up right in the nick of time, right? You're next in line. And, and so this is like all of this in one, where it's so important who you surround yourself with and who you let your guard down with and who you trust and who you let in and da. But these are the reasons why. I mean, why you desire to, because you too need a break, and why it's so important who you choose, because you better be real careful. Because a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. And wait 1 second. Alexa, turn the volume down everywhere. Okay, sorry, I felt like I was competing with Alexa. She was getting louder as I was getting louder. Anyway, it's so important who you choose, but it's also important how it feels, because this is the idea of don't ignore the red flags. Right? It was like there were some red flags, but I did ignore them because the words were correct, right? Like it was a charmer. And even though I could feel like I was being led in a way that was not me, and yet I was like, huh. And it's also like the desire to want to take a break, want it to be something it is not, right? Because you so want to take a break. So ultimately it's selfish still of me, right? Of wanting to get outside of me, not trusting me, and waiting for what is right for me. And so, man, oh man, lots and lots and lots and lots of lessons just in the nick of time. And a lot of times it's not in the nick of time because people aren't, it's like, I don't know how to say what they're showing. It's like they're not willing to jolt themselves awake. They're not willing to, because it was a harsh jolt for me. It was a shock for me. Like, you know how if you're ever, that's why they did that. Yeah, that's funny. You know how if you're ever, it's like, oh, this is good. If you're sleeping and you wake up and see the time and you realize it's later than you recognized and you had an appointment, and you jump yourself out of bed, and it's such a shock to your nervous system and your whole body that it can't get its footing. And so you're like, everything gets out of whack. I don't know if this has ever happened to you where, I mean, you could even almost puke. Like it ends up being it's such a disturbance so quickly. It's beyond not natural. Like we've all had that jump out of bed, but I mean, I'm talking about when it like shakes you to your core, where you weren't even close to ready to that amount of movement and whatnot. And it's kind of like that. You have to be willing at times to jolt yourself. And it's uncomfortable. It hurts. You can't get your footing right away. It's wackadoodle. But you have no choice. You have to keep pushing through. But you got to be careful. You also don't puke or fall down or crack your head, right? Like it's all of it at once. And it's almost like most people aren't willing to. Most people would see the time and be like, oh, fuck. And be like, well, I guess I'm going to be late. Or it is what it is. It's like, in other words, they will ease their way into whatever they need to, where I tend to be the one who will snap it into place so quickly. I still make everything on time and nobody knows the wiser. It's even if I had 1/1,000,000th of the time to get there, right? Like it's this idea where you're going to have to do things at times where you don't want to, and it's going to be wildly uncomfortable and it's not going to feel natural or easy or good, but it might just save your life, right? It's like your instincts have to be that good. You have to be that willing to do it for you, to love your life so much, to love you so much that you'll make those necessary pivots when you see clearly. I know, but unless I give that example, I feel like it doesn't necessarily make sense, but all right. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.